There is no reason or logic for the stock market. Like a yo-yo, it goes up and down each day. For people who associate investment by way of a stock market money and to put it in an investment like gold are two different ends. There is also investment in real estate. But in this case, in the last 3 months, ever since COVID-19 impacted us, we are seeing the stock market go up and down depending on the international scenario, more than what is happening in India. To make us understand the entire issue in its depth, we have with us today Sunil Daga, who will tell us what exactly is happening in the stock market. An expert in this business, Sunil will detail out the reasons why the stock market is behaving the way it's behaving.
Yeah, hi, my name is Sunil Daga and I own Enrich Investments. It's an boutique investment advisory firm, equity research and investment advisory firm. We are into this business since 2004. So recently what we have seen is a very severe fall in the financial markets across the globe post the COVID pandemic. So in the month of March we have seen global markets across all asset classes falling very sharply, and then we have seen a very sharp recovery subsequently. So currently if you see the markets, European markets and American markets have recovered almost 60% of the fall. So in the month of March, from the all-time highs, markets have fallen nearly anywhere between 38 to 40%. Asian markets, European markets, as well as our US markets. So now the current recovery is almost close to 61.8% technical retracement level. So the major reasons for the current rise is we have seen a very strong liquidity push from the central bankers across the globe, across all economies. We have seen stimulus packages from countries like Japan, US, Germany, India, and most of the policy response to the COVID pandemic has been tremendous, and the markets have taken this very positively. If you see in the case of Japan, they have announced a package which is close to 21.1% of their GDP. Similarly, you have seen US 12.2% of their GDP, and there is talk of the second round of stimulus coming from US. In India, we have seen nearly 10% of our GDP as a stimulus package. So the liquidity push which has happened post the response from the central bankers has taken the markets steeply up. Another reason for this steep rise in financial markets is the interest rates. We have seen the global interest rates near zero levels for a prolonged period of time, and recently the Fed has made a statement. They have committed that at least for the next 1 year there is no interest rates hikes are going to happen. So we are going to see muted interest rate regime for the coming 1 year at least, and which may extend to 2 to 3 years also, because in a deflationary economy like Japan, we have seen decades together the interest rate muted interest rates for decades together. And another reason is post the pandemic, panic selling has happened. So markets have reached oversold region, and then subsequent short covering has taken the markets up. And in the lack of safer asset classes, if you see the debt markets, we have seen zero interest rates. We have seen real estate markets collapsing. We have seen commodities collapsing. So in the wake of no safer asset class being available, the money is being flown into equity markets. So at least during the uncertain times, at least there is a feeling among the market participants that debt is, ownership is better than debt. So that kind of a feeling is pushing the investment money into the equity markets. So these are the broader reasons why equity markets across the globe have been performing tremendously. The commodities class, we have seen gold outperforming all asset classes since past many years. The last 3 to 4 years, because of the global slowdown and uncertainties, we have seen gold attracting a lot of investment buying. So this period is no different. We have seen gold rallying another 1.8% during the last 1 month. So 1770 is the current levels, which is just $150 away from the all-time highs. And then we have seen a very substantial fall in very steep fall in crude prices. The Brent crude prices have almost reached sub 20 levels in the month of April, and then we have seen a subsequent recovery because of the expectations of a faster than expected recovery. So currently crude is trading at around $40 per barrel. The Brent crude prices have recovered almost 100% from the lows. And coming to the Indian markets, our markets are no different. We have been working in tandem with all the global peers. So Nifty, after falling nearly 40% from the highs of 12,300, Nifty has touched a low of 7,511 in the month of March, which is roughly 4,800 points from the peak, which is almost 40% cut from the all-time highs. And then the recent rise, post-March rise, we have achieved the 61.8% retracement level just yesterday. So Nifty almost reached 10,550, and then we have seen a small corrective movement today in the markets. Coming to the sector specific performance, we have seen banking and financials, especially stock specific movement was witnessed in the F&O segment. The top gainer being Indiabulls Housing Finance, which gained 88% this expiry, followed by Idea, which has risen 68%, and RBL Bank 62%. Bajaj Finance twins, Bajaj Finance risen over 50%, almost 54%, and Bajaj Finserv more than 40%. So these are the major gainers. Apart from that, there was some activity being witnessed in some PSU stocks like BHEL, which has risen by over 40% during this month alone. Coming to the sector specific performance, we have seen realty sector outperforming all its peers. Media inching up by nearly 19%, and Bank Nifty by almost 11.4%, and Nifty rising by 7.4% in this expiry, June expiry. Going forward, we are expecting markets to remain stock specific. Just in the month of, despite the Nifty recovery, we have not seen similar recovery in the mid cap segment. So market breadth was not very positive, but June month has been very good for the investor community, because the overall market breadth, the advances were outnumbering the declines for a huge margin during this month. So we have seen a very sharp recovery almost post 2018 February. This is one month where the mid caps have outperformed the broader markets. Otherwise, we have seen Nifty inching up, and the overall sentiment being weak because of more losers in the market than gainers. But this month we have seen mid caps and almost every sector pitching in with their gains. Going forward, we are expecting the correction to continue because of the euphoria we have seen across the board buying, and then more and more people thronging to markets because most of the people are free during this time. So a lot of new account openings, a lot of new inquiries have come in during the last few months, and because of this euphoria, a lot of activity is being witnessed in the markets. But sooner or later, maybe in the next quarter or so, because the next quarter results are going to be a complete washout, as we all know, and then the coming quarter also is going to be muted. So next 2 quarters, that when the results come in, we may see some kind of a corrective phase in the markets. But overall, depending on how the recovery takes shape post these 2 quarters, we can make a reasonable guess as to where the markets are likely to go. But looking at the way the current scenario is panning out, we may expect a corrective phase in the coming couple of quarters, and then stock specific performance, as always, is going to be in the limelight. Coming to sectors which are going to outperform, pharma, after underperforming for nearly 5 years, if you see post 2016 till 2020, we have seen almost every year pharma sector in losses. Despite overall broader markets in positive, pharma sector underperformed the broader markets for 5 consecutive years. So now this year we have seen from the lows a very sharp recovery in the pharma stocks and pharma index as well. So going forward, pharma is going to take the lead and lead the Nifty rally. One particular mention should be made about Reliance Industries, which has actually attracted a lot of investment buying in its Jio platform. So which has one of the major reasons why we have seen Nifty at these levels today. So the overall participation being low, Reliance leading the markets, we need to see how far that will continue, but the bellwether stock is going to outperform in the coming days also, coming days and months also, which may provide a lot of support for Nifty in the coming quarters, which can protect Nifty from going to the lows again. So broadly, by and large, we are going to see positive markets, positive momentum in the market, but with stock specific performance and stock specific underperformance as well. So coming 2 quarters, we may see Nifty finding support anywhere between 8,400 to 8,500, and on the upper side, immediate resistance comes at around 10,550 to 10,600. If it is able to breach that with good volumes, then we may see 11,000 to 11,200 as well, because we have already seen global indices like Nasdaq at all-time highs, Dow Jones just 14%, S&P 500 and Dow Jones just 10% away from the all-time highs. So there is no reason why we should not be expecting our markets to reach the highs. So 11,100 to 11,200 we may see if the positive momentum continues, but investors and traders need to remain cautious because the rise has been very steep, so falls can also be very steep. So 8,300 to 8,400 levels may be a good level to for entry for long-term investors, and 11,000 to 11,200 is a good sell level for short to medium-term traders. Stock specific, like as I said, sectors like telecom, FMCG and pharma, these are the sectors which are going to outperform because of obvious reasons. Markets have now become funds play because the mutual funds, lot of money is coming into mutual funds, so they have to have the allocation has to be done to equities. When the investable gamut has contracted so sharply, we have very limited stock for investments for where there is for mutual funds they see earnings visibility. So the visibility is seen only in select sectors and select stocks. So big funds chasing very few stocks is actually fueling rallies in many stocks. So stock specific outperformance is going to be the theme for the coming quarters. We have still not seen green shoots in the automobile industry. This month, because of the pent up demand, we may see some uptick in sales. But since last 1 year, 2019 has been a very bad year, for one of the worst years for the Indian automobile industry post the liberalization started. But still there are no visible signs of a very steep recovery in the overall sales as well as registrations. We are going to see some pent up demand in the 1 to 2 months, June and July may see some pent up demand, but there are no reasons to believe that the demand will come to pre-COVID levels or pre-2019 levels anytime soon. But broadly, if you see the longer term picture, we are still far away from the global peers. If you see the overall auto density, the number of vehicles per 1,000 inhabitants, which is very abysmally low for the country, we are very far away from the global average. So broadly, if you see a decades view, if you take a decades view, then definitely automobile sector is one sector to watch out for. But in the immediate term, we don't see much of buoyancy coming into automobile sector. The investors, smaller investors, new set of investors are very active in the market now. We have seen a lot of inquiries coming in, lot of account openings happening, but the markets have become a trader's den today. Now instead of investment, people are looking at quick entry and quick exit. So it's not a very healthy scenario, but this is how the markets are today. People, because 40-50% 50% rise in a heavyweight like Bajaj Finance, people will be tempted to sell. So the trend is giving birth to a lot of new traders, a trading community, and with the advent of zero cost broking and proliferation of low cost brokerage houses, we are going to see more and more traders active in the market. That's why we see options volumes increasing, the intraday volumes increasing in the market. Despite all the tax revenues coming down very steeply, we have seen STT going up by 15% during this the June 15 figures. So a lot of traders are becoming active. Investors are broadly staying away. Many people are feeling missing out during this rally, but again people are waiting on sidelines. The longer term investors are waiting on sidelines for the corrections to enter. So investor mindset is broadly, traders are active and positive, long term investors are in wait and watch mode. We have to see, because IT sector, because of the slowdown across the globe, because our revenues are broadly dependent on US and European markets. So the recent COVID pandemic, post these developments, we may see some budget cuts from the top 500 companies across the globe. So the revenue front, we may see cut in the coming year. Coming to the guidance, most of the companies have not given guidance this time, these results. So during the June quarter results, we may see some guidance coming in from heavyweights, especially TCS and Infosys and HCL Tech. So there we can make a reasonable guess as to what could be the future of IT sector. But by and large, we may see some muted growth in the coming year, and then a recovery post FY21. June IT sector, coming to IT sector, June IT sector relatively underperformed during this series, but by and large, in all the correction, if you see, we have seen corrections every 4 years cycles in the Indian market. So whenever post all these corrective phases, we have seen IT and outperforming the broader markets. So this time also we may see IT recovery. Now IT has become a new defensive sector. Earlier we used to call FMCGs and pharma as defensive sectors. Now IT has become a new defensive sector. So the volatilities are going to reduce in the IT stocks, and banking and financials are the most volatile lot. So we are going to see a lot of underperformance as well as outperformance in the financial space, banking as well as NBFCs. So the beta is very high in this space. So a lot of activity is going to happen in the banking and financials, and and there is the Supreme Court ruling and the moratorium is also pending. So that is going to have that is going to bring in some volatility in the coming month in IT and banking and financials.